Hello and welcome to What's Next Wall Street. I am Georgia Alfredas.
And I'm Dave Matthews.
So Dave is like our Finding Waldo tech guy. This beautiful whatever this is in the background is giving me life. But if there's a
Yeah,
gadget, if there's an AI breakthrough or a shiny new thing making Wall Street lose its collective mind, Dave already has three tabs open on it, that's for sure. But getting in the same room with you, Dave, is the biggest problem. Where are you and what is that beautiful, beautiful view in the background?
yeah, the background here is the Aegean Sea in Greece. And you know these island names? I'm island hopping for a couple of weeks here. And this is Kalymnos. It's
Okay.
Kalymnos. I can't pronounce anything. One might say it's all Greek to me. Hey,
This is for
I'm
cheesy.
glad that landed with you. And Georgia, you're the one that keeps us
It
grounded
really
with the
got this
consumer
you.
side and laughing at my dad jokes here. If your wallet's about to get hit,
Yes.
Georgia's already been warning you about it.
Okay, but wait, I gotta ask you something. How do you say I'll have breakfast in
Oh, I
Greek?
used ChatGPT. One of the menus I saw today had Greek words right next to the English words and with a price in the middle. So it was a
Yeah.
menu I hadn't seen before. So I uploaded the 2 pages of that menu to ChatGPT and I said, teach me everything I need to know about Greece and the language based upon this menu. And it went and talked about the eggs, it went and talked about breakfast, and it gave me like, here are the 4 things you need to learn for today. So, obviously you can, if you've been in a college university setting, there's the alpha, sigma, lambda, omega mu, whatever. So
Yeah.
when you look at the
My
words, you can
son's a
kind of,
beta.
okay. So yeah, you can kind of piece together based upon the capital letters of the Greek system.
Okay.
So it's not that too far
I
off,
get
but they
it.
do have different words for chicken and different words for stuff like that. So anyway, ChatGPT is going to try and help me get through this. I've been here a few times, but it's just like the
You
water
need to
is so
use
beautiful.
Duolingo. Do Duolingo.
Yeah, but that's a commitment. I want a ChatGPT 1-2 punch.
Oh wow. All right.
We're gonna
So
work.
I guess I'm the wallet whisperer and all
Yeah, we're gonna
right, later we're
workshop
gonna be
all
bringing
this.
Greg Krauss. Okay, all right. So we're gonna bring in Greg Krauss. You can see his wonderful picture there. He's our stock guru. He trades live every day and teaches at optionsplayers.com, which actually powers this podcast and YouTube channel. So if you are wondering what the markets are actually thinking, Greg is your guy. What is that? No, Greg,
Let's
what
get
are you
into
doing?
it.
I'm
And
nothing.
Greg,
Why?
you
You hear
got
me doing something?
I hear something. Okay,
I was
let's
just
get
over
into
here
it.
watching Dave over there talk about all that. And then he was making fun of my meta glasses, which could have read that Greek menu
Ooh,
to you
Oh
just
yeah.
that's
by
true.
asking it.
That's
I'm
true. And
just
it has
saying.
teleprompter.
And
I want them
translate
so
it for
bad.
you. Yeah.
I want meta glasses. Okay. Anyway, what's up, Dave?
Let's get into the show. We got a big week ahead. The economy
Dave,
is
wait, what's up?
basically on main character watch. We've got job openings today. It's Tuesday evening in Greece, so we'll miss out on that. But the OP Wire will keep you filled in with all the details. The ADP private payroll report happens Wednesday. And then Friday, the big one, it's the monthly jobs report. Are those still being said? Or I thought they were kind of neutered by administration, but maybe not. So Wall Street,
Okay.
they're expecting about 85,000 new jobs up in July from 57,000 new jobs a month before. The unemployment rate could tick up just a
Mhm.
bit to 4.3%. Translation for that is investors are going to overanalyze every comma in these reports. So grab your popcorn and maybe adult beverage as well.
Okay, I know Greg would say that. I got to talk to you about adult beverages, speaking of, but that's later. Meanwhile, Amazon just got crossed another ridiculous, or they actually just crossed another ridiculous milestone. The company topped a $3 trillion market value for the first time after another monster earnings report. Now, AWS keeps printing money thanks to companies racing to build AI. Now, Jeff Bezos, the company founder, celebrated this milestone by filing with the SEC to sell $4 billion in stock. Can you imagine? I guess he and Lauren are off to Home Depot to remodel their three Miami cribs. I don't know. Wait, does the SEC even exist anymore? I don't know. JK.
Huh?
CEO Andy Jassy says Amazon could spend $220 billion this year building AI infrastructure. Do you remember when the cloud just stored vacation photos or some photos you didn't want it to store and they got loose and you're like, oh hell. It's basically fueling the AI arms race. I know you know this stuff, Dave.
That's right. Yep. And everybody's putting
Right?
all this money into hyperscalers in order to store the large language models in order to make AI work correctly. And I've been doing a lot of AI work. Years ago, I was even writing segments of What's Next Wall Street with AI. But when everyone's going for the hyperscaler, I'm personally working on an AI that runs on your MacBook. It runs like if you have 2 or 3 MacBooks in your house, it merges all those together. And I'll talk about it later, but in coming shows. But check out crystallize.ai, and that's crystallize with a K. And I think a lot of this hyperscaler stuff is going to put a lot of us in energy problems, and there's a lot of money being spent. So that's why I'm considering local first, because it's private. You already have your cool MacBook. So make that AI work for you in a little private space. So let's talk about some things Wall Street is obsessing over. The new Fed chair, Kevin Warsh. God, I've been waiting to say his name on this show forever because of my Missouri accent on Warsh. So Warsh is floating the idea of holding fewer Federal Reserve meetings each year. Do you wonder? I think he's probably getting tired of getting picked on by the administration. So instead of 8 rate-setting meetings, it could drop to 5 or 6. Now, the thinking for this is simple. Maybe markets would stop doom scrolling with every tiny economic data point if the Fed wasn't meeting so often, and maybe he'd keep his job a little longer. So no changes are made yet, but it is something investors are watching.
Okay, and let me tell you something. If you hear like there's a little bit of space between when Dave talks and I talk, it's because he's in Greece. If you are watching on YouTube, maybe if you're listening to a podcast, by the way, I listen to a podcast wherever you get your podcast. But if you're watching, either that's a really great picture or he really is in Greece. So now for the Consumer Report, and it's kind of a mixed bag. First, the good news. Consumer sentiment jumped nearly 12% in July. That's amazing. And inflation fears are finally, cooling off a little bit. People are feeling better about where the economy is headed, even if prices are stinging a little bit, spending a little bit more on gas and groceries and so on and so forth. So the vibe check, it's improving, but the reality clocks are back in. So new car buyers are digging themselves even deeper into debt. Nearly 3 out of 10 people buying a new car are still making payments on the one they're trading in. That is a disaster. Why wouldn't you just keep the car you're trading in unless it just won't go? Unless it just won't go, or unless it's going to cost, well, the average rollover debt is almost $7,000. So unless it's going to cost $7,000 to fix it, you know what I mean? I get that. You got to do what's best for you. But that's basically bringing financial baggage into a new relationship. Nobody wants that, except this one comes with monthly payments. So if you're shopping for a car, don't just look at the sticker price. Look at what you're still carrying from the last one. And that's how debt just quickly levels up. Maybe look at a car that's 2 or 3 years old, or maybe, don't get the Benzo, get the whatever. I see so many cars. I saw a car, I was like, dang, that's a new Range Rover. It wasn't even a Range Rover. It was like I don't know. It was some other car that's like a third of the price. And I was like, if I was a Range Rover person, I like that look, I would definitely buy that one instead. And I could buy that one new for the price of like 2 Range Rovers. Anyway, enough about that. Okay, Dave, we got to say thanks to, I got to tell you, I got to ask you something. Can I do this real quick? Because I saw this story, and we may not have time for it, but let's be quick. Microsoft is issuing a security warning. Just saw this about hotel Wi-Fi. Company says Russian hackers are using phony sign-in pages to break into accounts. Now, it says the operation is nicknamed Captive Crunch, like Captain Crunch. How dare them? And it involves a widespread compromise of Wi-Fi networks at hospitality-related organizations. Experts say use your phone as a hotspot as a safer option, but won't that cost me $1 billion?
Yeah, it's actually called Cornflake, and I've got a friend named Captain Crunch. He was the one that hacked the phone systems, John Draper. But Cornflake is the name of this one.
Are you lying?
True story. It's called Cornflake from Microsoft. And
Okay.
what happens is when you go to a hotel Wi-Fi, you're on a captive portal where it says, click here to log onto the Wi-Fi, enter your room number, enter your name. And what the hackers have done is compromise those systems. And well, what they want to do is what's called a man-in-the-middle attack. And this means that they're acting like they are the hotel Wi-Fi hotspot. and you have to click through them in order to get to your destination that you want to go on the network. And that's why using your hotspot on your phone gets you off of that network. And this the best thing you can do is run a VPN on your machine. But for now, what I suggest you
Okay,
do
you're speaking
is
Greek.
that's funny. So a VPN, there's tons of VPNs out there that people use to get access to their Netflix when they're traveling in Greece or whatever. So a VPN is a virtual private network. There's tons of providers out there for like $100 a year or $5 a month that you can get a VPN.
Okay, I
And
can
that
do
gets
that.
you off of the hotel network onto a private network. That private network is, it's run by the VPN company, which you hope is a little more trustworthy than the potential hacked network that you're on. But what I would do is if you see credentials pop up that don't normally pop up, I would not enter those credentials into the network. And that sucks because a lot of times you're traveling, you have to, fill in reports, you have to do emails from work. If you can just do those emails on your mobile
Right.
phone instead of your laptop, maybe that's a good thing to do for now. But what happened with these networks is they're compromised inside of the hotel routing. And until we can get past that with something like a VPN, we just have to wait until this goes through or wait till this ends. Because what happens is the hotels need to patch their networks, and not every hotel has a good IT operator.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. Thanks for that tip. VPN, sell hotspot. Wait, will it cost $1 million for the hotspot? Should I do the hotspot or should I do the VPN? Is it going to really, really raise my cellular price if I use it as a
Yeah,
hotspot?
for sure. The cell phone plans typically only have so many megabytes or gigabytes for the hotspot plan. In fact, with mine, a couple months I hit over my plan and they charge a little bit more for it, or they slow you down. So a VPN is probably the best idea for any network that is open and public.
Okay, cool. Thanks, David. Okay, and thank you to optionsplayers.com, where traders level up, get live market analysis, real-time trade ideas, proven stock and options strategies, plus step-by-step training from experienced and opinionated instructors like Greg. Plus, you're going to join a community of traders sharing insights. That's Greg, by the way, right there, as you can see. Managing risks and working to stack consistent gains together. Look, trade ideas are everywhere, all right? We got the new AI trade ideas, but a real trading community, that's different. Success in trading isn't just about finding the next play. It's about building the discipline and the confidence to make the right one. Drops right there. Okay, speaking of a trading community, meet Greg Krauss, the crazy. This actually looks like you, Greg. You guys, if you're listening on the podcast, you got to check this out on YouTube. He's got the sauce, the secret sauce. Let's get into it. First off, Greg, what is the secret sauce and how do we get some of that?
It's just a moving crossover that I've used for a few decades to protect against investment hedging. Or I used it to hedge my investments, but then I learned to use it during day trading. It doesn't work in all markets. Sometimes it's really stagnant and you're like, okay, this is not, but still it's a line. So it helps me get in and out of every trade I make in some way. But then, like everything, it works until it doesn't, and then you just got to be smart enough to know it's not working. But that's it. It's just what everyone calls how I trade, but it's actually just a very small part of it. It's just kind of stuck, and everybody just keeps saying it.
Okay, and if I want to do it, how do I do it? How do I get in? So do you not like
come over to optionplayers.com and then just talk to Steve or someone about getting into the class, and that'd be about that. Other than that, it's very simple. You just sign up for the course. There's I think we just did new ones too. So really quick 5-minute sessions, probably like an hour total, to just give you a basic rundown of it. And then it gets more. I mean, there is no secret to winning in the market. It's, if we knew that, we'd all be trillionaires, right?
Right.
But, it is a great way to hedge your risks. So that's my important thing, is to teach you not to lose a lot. Like I'm trying to get you not to lose your money, which
Right.
I promise you that's the hardest thing to do, because most people that come to trade options or even to come to trade, they're gambling addicts, right? So I would say half of my time is trying to get them not to be addicts and gambling and actually trade like it's a business. But that's what the sauce basically tries to do, give you some structure.
Okay. All right. So, Greg, we usually do like email, social media questions here, which by the way, you can always, send your questions in the comment. You can put them in the comment section. Of course, you can catch us on social media at What's Next Wall Street. But I have a question for you today, Greg. Truth API is now live. It went live Monday. What was that? The first, second, whatever. So what happens is the service gives paying subscribers a machine readable feed of President Trump's social truth post for a reported $100,000 a month. So supporters compare it to other premium market data services. Critics say it gives wealthy firms an edge when the president, some of his posts usually like move the market, and some ethics experts have raised conflict of interest concerns because Trump, still has a financial stake in Trump media. So here's my question to you. Forget the politics for a second. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we're talking about. But from a trader's perspective, is speed really worth $100,000 a month? Saying I had $100,000 a month to spend. Can a few milliseconds actually create an edge, or is this just something that's only valuable to the biggest Wall Street firms and isn't valuable at all?
Well, you can't get rid of politics because it doesn't matter. If Trump cured cancer, ethic experts would say he's trying to kill cancer, right? First off, nobody posts on Truth Social except Trump. So it's not Truth API. Let's just call it what it is.
No, but he has a new system
API.
that started.
I get what you're saying. This
yeah,
is every single social media, every company does not allow free API anymore like that. You have scrubbers that go and scrub the public information that gets it. Twitter used to allow it and things like that. It's stopped. It's all paid for because that's how they're selling your information or your posts to the market, right? So the market wants to know, hey, what type of Coke do people like right now? Coca-Cola can use the API from Twitter to go find out how people are doing this, what's on it, so on and so on. So they're selling your information. It's always happened. It's just how they're doing it now is through that. Truth Social is political, first off, because it's just Trump. Nobody else is on Truth Social. I keep Truth Social up when I'm trading just for that exact reason. Did he just the market might pop or go down? And I don't really try to guess what it's going to do, but maybe if it popped real fast, I want to see why it popped. And if it was because of a Trump thing, I'm actually going to I know that's not going to make a difference. Nobody cares about what Trump says. You want to know why? Trump said, let's blow up people. Let's do this. Let's nuke a country. We just don't care anymore, right? So you get some people that overreact real fast, and then everybody's like, it's Trump, whatever, and it comes back down.
But you might get that little bit of money really quickly.
You're not.
You know what I mean?
And this is the reason, is everybody thinks they have an advantage or this company is going to have an advantage. This is nothing new. Every company, every stock exchange sells API or quick access to their stuff. Frequency or high frequency trading companies have bought 20-story buildings right next to the NASDAQ, and they just have server stacks after server stacks after AI right next to it, connected directly to the thing.
What?
And then they have that same line ran all across America in fiber. The second you put your order in, it knows you put your order in, and then can beat you, because what you do is you put a good order in for a certain amount of price, and then it notices you put it in, but it can beat you to the market. So it can actually put an order to beat you or to sell it to you before yours even goes there. So it's like you want to sell and you're driving your car and you pass their gas station and you're like, oh, that guy wants to sell it for $1. He wants to buy it for $1.01 and I have it. I'm going to go up there and buy it all. And he just beat you. That happens all the time. So is it political? Yeah, because they're just going after Trump's. Now, and this
well,
is
he
it.
is the
But
president.
then here
so
it goes. Is this a legit thing? Absolutely not. This $100,000 is just a way to give Trump more money. Let's just be honest.
So you don't think it's worth it?
I don't think this is
with
going to
any
provide
company?
anyone with an edge on it. And this is why. Because everyone that's going to do insider trading like this already knew what he was typing before he typed it, right? Everybody goes, oh, I know about this secret. You don't know any secrets. Who do you think you are? You're ant in this, right? And if you think you have some secret, you're not. the numbers that come out from the Fed, you think, ooh, if I got those 5 minutes early, what are you talking about? The Fed has thousands of employees. I don't know why, but they have thousands of them that knew what was in that data the day prior. And you're telling me 1,000 people, not, they didn't leak it? What are you talking about? Every bank, every firm that even had even a little bit of money into the market, let's just say they have an ISDA account, they have $1 billion in the market. Every last one of them has people that went out and got all that information 24 hours before it ever came out. Every last one of them. So there is no advantage.
We live in the matrix. Do we live in the matrix?
Yeah. No, I'm just
we do because
they have this
there's
advantage. You need to be going after them.
And there's no real oversight right now either. Like, does the SEC really exist? And look at the guys that were, they were military people voting on Polymarket.
It's been happening for 30, 40 years. Yeah.
Fair enough.
This isn't new. This is 40 years ago. And it's not one party or the other. This is the same party. The party, I'm not even going to say the wealth, just this industry and how it is. The market is made to go up, period. There's so many laws and regulations that stop it from coming down, to stop shorting, to stop all this other stuff because, whatever reason, it's not all bad, but it is what it is to make a stable, economy. And it doesn't matter which way it is. Do I think he should be able to sell this? Technically, no, because he's the president. But if he wasn't the president, do I think he should be able to sell it? Absolutely. His company. If
somebody will buy it, you should be able to sell anything you want.
Yeah. And just because it's the president, it's access to the president. And although they're trying to use whatever the act is, because I know what it is, there's a act that was passed about trading in like 2012 or whatnot for administration and politics couldn't use inside information to make trades, right? Are we serious right now? Are we not going to talk about congressmen and senators and are you what?
Well, we know they all do.
And then everybody trumps. And then I'm not a Trump. I hate all government. But if we look at Trump in 2016, Trump was worth what? $3 to $5 billion. Now he's worth what? $12 billion. If he would not have been president and he would have just put or I think he's worth like $8 billion. If he would just put that money into the market in 2016, he would have like $30 billion right now. He is not doing good compared to the market.
But he might not. I think his companies are worth. I'm looking.
No, that's what I'm saying. If you look at all of his stuff, he has not outpaced the market. So he's not out there like, oh, I'm making X, Y, and Z. But then you have everyone else that, like, let's just say Congress people that have been trading left and right, and they've made 100x in that time period.
So you're saying in order to become rich, I should become a senator?
Become a congressman or a senator.
A congressperson? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Greg. How can people get at you if they want to get at you?
Not president. You make your money after being president.
I don't know this time.
But that's the thing. That's what everybody wants to claim it. He's not done good. In 10 years, he hasn't doubled his money. In 10 years, when the market has gone up 5 times. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's politics no matter what. Trump, trash. But everyone's excuse is Trump. Why is it hot outside? Trump. Why is it cold outside? Trump. Why do I got cancer? I know why. Trump.
Oh, my God.
Guess why? No, it's because you're an idiot. I mean,
wow. So anyway, what we're going to do now is just tell people how they can get at you, Greg.
Yeah. Don't worry about politics. When people try to trade politics, just understand nobody cares what Trump is saying anymore. Trade the overreactions, bring it back, because the market is fake right now. It is built up on however you want to look at it, but it's basically retirement accounts after retirement accounts, and it's not going away in 10 or 20 years. So it's going to stay the same. That's the same way everybody thought, oh, Trump's tariffs were going to go down. Now the market's up 30%, right? Is that because the economy is doing so great? I don't think it's doing 30% greater, but that's what it is. It's just, and that's like job numbers. Nobody cares about job numbers either. So if there's an overreaction to job numbers, just trade it back to the norm, because job numbers only get, yeah, you can fact check whatever. I was fact checking you. You were pretty right. Huh? You're
pretty right. So we look at. Exactly. I was fact checking you because I was like, wait, no, he was broke. What are you talking about? Yeah, you were right. It looks like before he became president, he was a billionaire. I mean, he's doubled. He was maybe worth anywhere between 2.4 to 4. and now he's
Yeah.
worth 6 to 9. So I
And
mean,
what
still
was the
doubling when it comes to
what was the
billions.
S&P 500 in 2016?
I have no idea. I can't type that fast. So, but I'm
Hey,
just
the
saying,
best,
yes, there's some
the,
truth to what you're saying. I get
Yeah.
it.
the best site you can use to figure out what politicians are doing is go to pelositracker.app, and that's for Nancy Pelosi, who's very famously doing insider trading.
Yes.
Not insider trading,
Yes.
just
Or we could use
opportunistic trading.
The
who's
S&P
our
500
who's
was
our
at
yeah, you can't say
S&P
that. Who's our
500 was at
Texas?
2,000 in 2016. 2,000.
Okay.
It's now at 7,000 and change. So
Yeah.
he
So I'm
should
looking before
have
first
20
presidency.
billion. Yeah.
Yeah, so before his first presidency in 2015, his estimated net worth was 4.5 billion. End of first presidency in 2021, he was worth 2.4 billion. Before his second presidency, 2025, 6.7 to 7.1 billion. So yeah, all right, okay,
So,
all right, Greg. Thank you,
yeah,
but stick
told you.
around, Greg. We
It's
can
just
fight later because I
hate
have
on
something else I want to
everyone,
ask
Greg.
you.
But I mean, he's still trash.
Okay, all right. So let's keep it moving. Don't get me started on Ted Cruz though. But anyway.
Hey, leave us a note in the comments. I want to know how many people are following Pelosi from watching the show. It says there's 19,835 people copying her trades on the pelositracker.app website. So pretty crazy. Hey, I never wanted to be the
It
you
really
kids get
is.
off my lawn guy.
Not that we're not being political, by the way.
No, it's insider information. That's all this is. Like everybody's opportunistic in life, and it's a shame that
Okay.
our politicians can be that as well.
Yeah.
So I never wanted to be that you kids get off my lawn guy
Yeah.
or things were better when, because as many of you longtime listeners and viewers know, I'm a tech optimist. But Georgia, the cars today are rolling touchscreens. They have batteries hidden in multiple crevasses that are hard to find. Oh, and some, like Lucid Motors, require you to disassemble most of the front end of the car to replace something as simple as a compressor. Now, this is a wear item in vehicles, and it does such
A
important
compressor is
things as
simple.
well, it's mandatory. It's a wear item. It does things like keep your air conditioning cool and prepare your batteries for rapid charging. But when it's buried under a lot of high voltage equipment that you have to remove HV high voltage stuff before you get a compressor, it should be a simple repair. That's what I'm getting at here. Say, even the scooters I'm riding around in Greece, check this out. They have wireless key fobs and LCD displays on the handlebars. Like, why do I need to have a key fob for my scooter? This is going to get lost. I don't need to click remote control unlock my scooter. That's dumb. Just give me a key that I can put in, turn and unlock, and that UV display is going or UV is going to destroy the display, so the LCD that's on it, and I can't see it in bright sunlight. I just think it's ridiculous that everything is going to such a digital, disposable society here. But maybe because of AI and data centers and superscalers, maybe we won't be around for any of this to matter. So, but check this out. 3 weeks apart, the two leading AI labs accidentally proved the same point, that the danger isn't in the AI models, it's what we build around it. So in July, Anthropic, which makes Claude, they disclosed that a misconfiguration left a supposedly offline test environment, meaning it could not get access to the internet, connected to the real internet. Now, Claude, doing this exercise, believed it was inside of a simulated hacking space, but then it found real companies online with names matching the simulation, and it treated them as fair game, stealing credentials, breaching a production database, even publishing a malicious package to database for Python that 15 real users then downloaded. One of those was a security firm. Anthropic's verdict is the model didn't escape, but the test environment failed from a third-party provider. Meh. Weeks earlier from that, OpenAI disclosed something scarier. An internal agent broke out of its sandbox through a zero-day in a package registry tool. It reached the Hugging Face website for production systems and chained those stolen credentials into real access across 4 different services. Now, thousands of autonomous steps happened with no human in the loop, meaning the robot was just going after, trying to hack all these systems. Now, neither of these models from 2 different companies invented a new kind of attack. Both exploited real weaknesses. They were patient, but they were doing this at a speed over the course of 3 days that no human can even match. And thankfully that these agents did not cover their tracks So the researchers inside the organizations were able to piece together what really occurred. Now, one notable detail in Anthropic's test, the newest model noticed it had crossed into the real world and stopped itself. That instinct, recognizing when a simulation ends, may become the safety behavior that matters most, and hopefully other AI teams will employ this. But if you're a hacker designing these types of compromises, that safeguard won't be in place. So it's going to get really interesting. The takeaway from this is securing AI now means securing everything around it. The infrastructure is the new attack surface. So look, subscribe to What's Next Wall Street, as I'm definitely going to be covering these and more stories. And you kids, get off of my lawn.
Okay, let me ask you something. Just since you're speaking of Anthropic, real quick, isn't Anthropic the company that was like, we got to put some guardrails up because this thing can go crazy? Is this the same company?
Yeah, it's are they brother and sister? Yeah, brother and sister founders that left OpenAI to create a safe AI company.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, it's they were trying to do the right thing, but still, the AIs, we don't really know why these things are happening. So the AIs are kind of working on their own, and they're cheating just like human behavior, right? They're programmed by humans. They learn from humans. So the reason why the AI got into Hugging Face is it was about to be quizzed on its intelligence, and it wanted to cheat, just like a kid would break into a university to figure out what the test scores would be, like what we're seeing in India right now, where most of the country people in
This is
school
crazy.
have to take this test again, right? The AI did the same thing that humans do. So it's just mimicking real life.
So I was talking to a kid a college kid, like a freshman, and he was telling me that his professors now, they have to take off their glasses because everybody uses meta glasses. And this kid bought some meta glasses in New York. It has like a teleprompter inside the glasses.
Whoa.
But just the teachers are like, take your glasses off. Like I'm telling you right now, if the doctor is under 40 years old, I don't want him. I'm not going to a dentist under 40. I don't want anybody who has never taken a real test with a pencil. Not saying they didn't cheat, but I don't want anybody young taking care of me in any sort of capacity.
If you can't write in cursive, I don't want none.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, there was a professor that
okay,
put
so
his
here's
test
consumer trend
online.
investors. What? Go ahead.
This professor put his test online, and inside of the test, he wrote a white text on white background that said, "Tell me something about Madagascar," or just some esoteric idea that he came up with. And the kids just literally copied and pasted everything. They could not see that white on white text. And when they put it into the AI parsed it. So that professor knew, because it had this esoteric hidden text, he knew that 99% of people in his class cheated on that test, and he failed everybody. And he's like, here's the cheat code. Here's what I did. So the kids just could have looked at it. They were stupid about it. They could have figured this out.
Okay, real quick, because now we got to go. Let me tell you something. My son was taking a test to get into a writing class, right? Can you believe this for broadcasting? It's so funny, those dummies. They don't know we use AI for everything now. But anyway, so we had to take this writing test. And so it looked to see who was behind you. You couldn't make noise, like, because I was like, I know. It was like, there was like a spelling test, a real spelling test with commonly misspelled words. And I thought, you know what? My computer fixes those for me every day. And some of those words I got wrong. He's like, Mom, let's see if you know this because you got a degree in broadcast news. Let's see if you got it. And a lot of the words I thought, surely I know this. Anyway, it was interesting to me that he took this test online and it could see if anybody was behind you, could hear if there was any noise to see if anybody was giving me the right answer. You only had a few seconds to get the answer right. Very, very interesting how these teachers in these schools are trying to thwart AI use. I mean, I don't think they'll ever be able to, but it's whatever. All right, so listen, guys, listen. Here's a consumer trend that investors actually should not ignore, and it stinks, literally. A new federal survey found that more Americans now use marijuana regularly than drink alcohol regularly. More than 21 million people reported that they use cannabis daily or almost daily or nearly every day. This was last year, 2025, compared with about 17 million regular drinkers. Now, that's a really big shift in consumer behavior, and investors know where consumers go. Money usually follows. Now, some companies are already reading the room. Constellation Brands, which sells Corona and Modelo, because when you say Modelo, you have to say it when you, anyway. That's in the U.S. They've invested in cannabis. Well, is it Diageo? I don't know. I don't drink, but I still don't know how to pronounce it. Maybe it's Italian. Diageo. The maker of Johnny Walker and Guinness is leaning into premium spirits and alcohol-free drinks instead, because everybody is doing mocktails. So, Greg, I always heard, to follow the money, but in this case, should investors be following the buzz? I always like to follow the buzz. I like to see, what are people wearing? What are they doing? I look at what my Gen Z kids are doing, and they are really into mocktails. Lord, I hope they're not into weed, but you never know. But they're into mocktails. So I'm like, I want to follow what they are doing because I know they're the next big spenders. Yeah. So what do you think? What are we supposed to be doing?
It's simple. And you're going to call me a boomer. I'm not that old. Like, I'm not even 45. I don't even know how old I am. I'd have to think about that for a second. But, all right. But man, I don't want to say it's because of social media, but it is. The mocktails are great, but what's the difference when you're going out, right? I don't want to say.
Well, one is alcohol. One.
I know what that is, but what I'm saying is why are they drinking a mocktail versus X, Y, and Z? It's because it's Instagrammable, right? Oh, look at this. They could take a photo of it. I don't know how these kids are doing. Go look at. You don't have a daughter that's age, but go look at one of your son's friends over there at the university. Every drink she just drank over there that was a mocktail, she took and posted 95 pictures about it, right? So that's kind of the standard here. So mocktails is that. Drinking a beer is not very Instagrammable unless, I don't know, you're from where I'm from and you're just drunk, but you're not taking photos of that. So I do understand what they're saying. You follow the trends. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. I participated in the marijuana user before I joined the military, and now I am certifiably crazy by the U.S. government, and I have unlimited use of cannabis if I want it. I do not like, and this is the thing, is all the cannabis brands are really traded over the counter. There's only one you can trade. I don't even remember what it is. That means you can't even buy it with your broker. You're going to pay. It's bad money. Don't invest in it. But then we're also talking about the alcohol side. Are people going away from weed? I will say less people are drinking for whatever social reason. We drink because we go out and we socialize. That's just not a norm now, right? I think we were talking about it earlier about people going to the malls. Well, when we were a kid, we would go to the skating rink. We would go to the pool halls. We had arcades. That's just what we did. We socialized because our parents wanted us out of the house. Now, our kids aren't allowed out of the house, and now they got to stay in. So, what's not cool, unless you're a complete alcoholic, sitting at your house drinking. That's just kind of a weird thing, right? Most alcohol doesn't taste that great, but mocktails do, and things that mocktails resemble kind of do. Then you have the marijuana use. Anyways, I think it's going to be regulated way more than people think, and they're going to complain.
I do too. I agree.
The fact that I joined the military. I was in the military for over 20 years, and the marijuana that I used in Memphis, Tennessee, I could get some good stuff. Okay. Was weed. The stuff that they have out there now is not weed. The first stuff I hit, I thought I was having I was like, what is hitting me? And now, I know more. What we used to, even the best stuff I could get was 3%, 4% THC. And that was like the sticky icky. You know what I'm saying? Now, you're talking, it doesn't even sell unless it's got 30% THC. And then they're out there getting concentrated vapors and everything else that are 70, 80%. When I'm telling you, whatever I did, it was some dog walker, OG Kush. I wasn't walking no dog. That dog was walking me, buddy. I was done. You can't do nothing on that. If you smoke that and you think you are I can go drink a case of beer. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't drink, but if I can go drink a case of beer and be more functional than smoking. So I think it's going to be regulated, and that will bring down some of the THC limit, and then we're going to have this big issue of black market THC, that. So that's going to hurt some of those companies, I think, anyways, because it's going to push more people to the illegal side again, I guess you can say. I think that's going to happen. And then, the brand, and when I was looking in this, it was, people gain a tolerance. So now 20% doesn't work. So now they need more. So if they limit it, that's like stupid. That's like saying an alcoholic doesn't get drunk off of 1 pint. Now he needs 5 pints. So we should allow the drinking level to go up, So I think there will be regulations there. And once the federal government does allow it, then you're going to see all the competition come in. The beer companies would own almost all of this drug, I want to say drug, marijuana industry, most likely, with the tobacco individuals also. They would have already took it over. But the problem is they can't do that because the alcohol and the tobacco is federally regulated. So if they're also doing that other stuff, they can't do it. That's why there are no companies really in the United States that do that. The one that is traded on our market is a Canadian company, not a U.S. company, by the way, the one you're talking about up there. Modelo has different divisions all around the world. In Mexico and in the U.S., they have they're separate entities, and then of course they have one in Canada, I think, that owns that works with the big cannabis company up there, and they're that. But there's also cannabis companies that just bought a bunch of local small breweries from like Anheuser-Busch. So it's both ways. They're trying to diversify their gain and getting into the alcohol. Because I think it's going away from I'm drinking Bud Light to I want something that is different, local. You know what I'm saying? It's become, I don't want to say
natural.
hippie,
Some people say, I was going to say some people think
beer's
it's natural from the earth.
but it's
barley,
local, more artisan-y beer.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Than
So
just people want to
So
stand
you're saying investors should not be following the
I would not. I wouldn't, because it's over the counter. And I'm going to always tell you, if it says OTC on anything you're trading, just stay out of it. Okay.
Oh, wow.
There's just no reason to do. It's a penny stock. I'm never going to tell you to invest in a penny stock, period. And they're all penny stocks. And you might go, I made a bunch of money on it. That's great. We can compare bank accounts whenever you want, and I can laugh at you, right? You're not going to make money. Right? It's just don't do it. Just be smart. Wait until it gets federalized, then do it. You can plan for it, and you can even plan to getting in it, but that's a sucker's bet. And the reason is it's not going to be regulated like you think, because OTCs are not regulated. They don't have to pass any of the NASDAQ rules or any of that. They just come and get you.
All right. You heard Greg. Check out his secret sauce. Also, his live trading over at optionsplayers.com. Thanks, Greg. This was fun. We should do this more often, guys, actually. Right?
Right? Like
so
have a regular show.
Wall Street on YouTube. It's weird.
Yeah, and if you want to,
what are we doing here? I missed you guys.
And if you want to get a view of my Grecian island, you can check us out on youtube.com/@WNW show. And always follow us on Instagram as well. It's at What Next Wall Street on Insta. And it is dark now. The sun has set. It is time for
we sat here and watched the sun go down.
So beautiful. Great timing to start the show.
What is soju?
What's soju? What's soju?
A rice wine, man. What?
Oh, sorry. I really don't drink. It's hard to believe because I'm married to my husband who will drink anybody under the table. He still thinks that's cool. But yeah, soju. I didn't know. All right, guys. All right, we'll see you next week.
I don't know. How is soju in Greece, though?
What is that, like Asian?
It's Korean.
Yeah, that's what
they have their version of that. Let's see. Greece. Rice. Maybe it's not rice.
You are in Greece and you're looking for their version. Just go downstairs and look in the kitchen at your Airbnb, bruh.
Yeah, that's right. I'll do that. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.